Arch Manning thing is so peculiar. Let's talk about Florida beating Texas, the number 9 team in the country. Once again, Texas cannot beat a Power 4 program. They have not been able to do it in 2025. Got a lot of pushback from people saying that Texas should not be in the top 10. I was told that they should be in the top 5 because hypothetically they would beat Indiana by 3 touchdowns. There's tweets out there that says it by Texas faithful and verified ones at that, so it doesn't take far to find those tweets. They also believe that they were going to shut out Florida. And the reality is Texas does not have an identity. I said it after the Ohio State game. I've been saying it for weeks at this point. They do not have an identity. And so they don't know what to do when the offense starts to stutter out. At the bare minimum last year with Wisner, they could run the football a little bit. They could lean with the offensive line. They had that boa constrictor style offense where, yeah, it's only an 8-9, maybe even a 10-point lead, but it feels like 21 because the defense is so damn good that the offense is just going to basically limp their way to 23 points, and you're not going to be able to score 23 because the defense is being so good. And Quinn Ewers is going to have a moon ball here and there, but at the end of the day, he's just going to run an RPO offense, and you're going to sit there and think, well, if we get a more dynamic athlete, a better arm in there, someone that's not as injury prone, maybe Arch Manning can elevate this offense to what we think it should be. And he's just not hitting his layups. He looks like a quarterback that is a deer in the headlights going into these bright spots. There's moments of pure brilliance. And it's honestly when he's not having to think, when it's more the pass rush is coming in so quick, he has to just let it rip. And truthfully, I highly recommend go watching the Film Guy Network, his breakdown of his game against, I believe it was Sam Houston State. And it just details all the issues that Arch has been having mechanically, not just saying, oh, his throwing motion's weird. No, why he's doing what he's doing. But to the original point of talking about the identity, Texas doesn't know what they want to be. Do they want to run the football? Well, they can't because the offensive line's not that good. Arch, do you want to try to throw the ball? Well, he's inconsistent and the offensive line still isn't good. When you don't have a good offensive line, you really can't build anything of substance because you're not going to have time to throw and you're not going to get push. And when you're going against a senior defense that Florida does have, that's been the one consistent of this Florida program has been their defense all season. And they were able to get push consistently with 6 sacks. Now, part of it, I'm not going to do the same thing that I did with like Auburn's offensive line. Jackson Arnold held the ball too long. Arch holds the ball way too long. He sits in the pocket as if he has all the time in the world until it's just too little too late with 6 sacks. He took an egregious one trying to go win the football game, one that you just couldn't do. If I was told that Texas was to only have 52 rushing yards, I would have thought Florida blew them out. And honestly, Florida was manhandling for the most part, and Texas's talent kept them in this game. We have to talk about Florida more because they're the ones that won the football game. And Texas just continuously disappoints. And we'll talk about them on probably Tuesday for the Red River game. Can't believe that they're going to be unranked against an Oklahoma program that's probably going to start Michael Hawkins. Venables doesn't believe they're going to have Matier, but it's to be seen with a rivalry spot. I doubt Venables is going to make a decision until literally game day. Florida on offense. It's the tale between two varying levels of experience. You have a Florida defense with plenty of experience, and then you had the youngins on the offense. DJ Lagway. Obviously, you have Dallas Wilson, who we'll talk about here in a minute. And then Jaden Ball. Thank the Lord they actually ran the ball with Jaden Ball. Because the talent that I've been seeing on film for weeks at this point, but he only gets 10 carries, was the most frustrating thing about Florida out of anything else. Even Billy Napier's play calling, but it kind of goes to that point of just give the kid the ball. When you broke down this game before it even happened, you could say that Florida was efficient running the football, averaging 6 yards per carry, but they wouldn't do it. They refused to. And you can maybe make the argument that they'd be down in some games and they didn't want to run the ball when they should be passing. I get that. But Jaden Ball, especially in that Miami game, you're sitting there going, why weren't we giving him the rock in any way or which fashion as possible? The dude's an incredible athlete. I know he's listed at 230 pounds. I don't think he's playing at it because the way that he's moving and still being hyper athletic, you can't guard him on the outside, especially with these outside runs. And as a Texas A&M fan, I am petrified to play him. This was easily the best game for DJ Lagway. I think this is the guy that most benefited from a bye week. I could make an argument that maybe Arch would have benefited if they had played Florida just the week before. I don't know if he needed a bye because if he's truly not injured, I think he would have greatly benefited from some sort of momentum that you saw from the same Houston State game. But I don't know if it really mattered if the offensive line's going to play that bad. Dallas Wilson, 5-star kid, 6 catches, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. DJ Lagway, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns. To Dallas Wilson's point, I mean, the dude's incredible for a true freshman. Dallas Wilson is going to be a problem. And if he can become the go-to guy that Lagway is comfortable with and just get him the ball in any which way or fashion, that's a grown man stuck in a true freshman body. That's the next iteration of great wide receivers, the same way that we were talking about Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. It's really going to be DeCorian Moore and Dallas Wilson as the next iteration in, I believe, the 2028 draft? Maybe even 2029. I could get my numbers mixed up here, but Florida knew what they wanted to be going into this game. They wanted to run the football. They did it successfully. They wanted to take shots downfield and exploit what was more than likely an overrated secondary with Texas. Texas continuously shot themselves in the foot, whether it be sacks, whether it be turnovers, whether it be penalties. And Florida, yes, the game started to slip away a little bit, but they held on tight. You knew instantly that Florida wanted to be the team that was going to impose their will running the football. I believe, it felt like 9 straight carries for Jaden Ball to start the game. And Texas, once they got the ball into their hands, they really started to look around and saying, well, I guess we're going to throw the ball here. We're going to run a little bit, but then we only have 52 rushing yards. The passing game's a question mark. The offensive line's a question mark. So Texas, truly, what are they wanting to be? And you don't want to figure it out next week against Venables. I think rightfully so, they're not a top 25 team. Penn State included. Both of them do not have a Power 4 win. And what is it? The second week of October? What do you want from me? Tried to tell y'all. These are not top 10 teams. You're basing it on the brand and you're basing it on preseason expectations. That's the truth.